All right. So we have a joyful celebration tonight honoring Latino Heritage Month, and it's kind of the first time I believe that we've had this at a board meeting, so that's it's very exciting. And the town of Huntington had one last week in which Dr. D'Elia, myself, and Mr. Murphy, as well as Mr. Castillo, and others were present. And I got to tell you, our students cleaned up. Of the probably 25 scholarships that were given, I think South Huntington had 18 of them, either the scholarships or awards. So it was really a great testament to our students. So we have a nice program for you on that, and then we have a facilities project update. Maybe not as exciting, but really good stuff happening throughout the district, and important improvements. Of course, though, I do want to start tonight just by remembering and reflecting, because we've seen some horrific images over the weekend, and obviously it's in everybody's minds as as we wake up and watch the news, and it's unavoidable. So these horrific images are really they're too much to bear, and these are very difficult times. And I wanted to have a moment of silence before we begin for the victims of the terrorist attacks over the weekend, and as well to pray for the hostages and their safe recovery, and as well aspirationally hope for lasting peace in the region, which I think everyone can agree on. Obviously, it doesn't look like that's in the near future, but hopefully out of something horrible, we can have a lasting peace there. And so I know our thoughts and prayers are with everyone during these difficult times, and I want to just give a moment of silence as we reflect on those who lost their lives in the horrific terrorist attacks in Israel over the weekend. Thank you. Okay, we're going to move on to our Latino Heritage celebration, and so we have a nice program, as I mentioned. And to begin it, I'm going to introduce Mr. Jose Castillo, Assistant Principal, Waldman High School, to lead the program.
Hello, good evening, Mr. Ciapetta, Dr. Leah, members of the board, and members of the cabinet. Thank you so much for allowing me to speak tonight. As Mr. Ciapetta mentioned, last week on Wednesday, October 11th, at the Town of Huntington Town Hall, the Town of Huntington Hispanic Advisory Task Force held a celebration recognizing many, many students from the Town of Huntington. And as Mr. Ciapetta mentioned, and he wasn't exaggerating when he said that our Whitman students did clean house. As our students were mentioned, we just didn't stop clapping. We just kept on clapping, because as soon as one name was announced, the next name was from Walt Whitman High School, from Walt Whitman High School. So it was a very good feeling. I know I did. I stood up a little taller on my seat saying, yeah, those are our kids. Before we recognize the students, I do also want to take the time to recognize someone that had a very direct hand in encouraging, maybe even pushing some of our students to participate, write essays, find 2 letters of recommendations from different people. And that's Miss Eileen Berkowitz. She is actually here tonight. She's one of our teachers here at the high school, Miss Berkowitz. Thank you so much for your efforts, Miss Berkowitz. So what I would like to now do is I want to call up and recognize all the students that did receive awards. If you are here, please come on up so that we can recognize you, give you a nice little certificate recognizing you for your achievements and your efforts, and we'll have a nice picture that we can put up. So if you are here, Carlos Saravia. Gisela Cisneros. Stay right here. Elian Perez. Juan Diaz. Giselle Machado. Francis Figueroa. Scarlett Redondo. Eric Guevara. There he is. He was hanging out with our Latino heritage dancers. Catherine Zakay. Cindy Carpio. Betsy Pletez. Laura Calvo. Jessica Uloa. And Stephanie Vasquez. Now, what I will also say is that many of our students, this is how responsible they are. Many of them weren't able to make it here tonight because they're working. And they really wanted to be here. But it just goes to show you how responsible and great some of our kids are, that here they are. Not only did they find these 2 letters of recommendation, some of them also, they didn't just rely on our South Huntington teachers. Some of our students actually went outside of the South Huntington school community and found old mentors, previous teachers from previous buildings. So it just goes to show you that our students, they always rise up to the challenge. And I'm always so proud because this is Hispanic Heritage Month, but as you'll see with our Latino Heritage dancers and our Latino Heritage Club, it's not just a month. Our students make Latino heritage part of the everyday, and they are part of the everyday. I'm proud every day to work with them, to be with them, and just to watch them grow. Thank you so much, and I would love to just take the opportunity now to take a picture with the students who are here and recognize them for their achievements. Yeah, absolutely. What is it they always say, never give an administrator a microphone because they refuse to give it up? So before I leave you, I do want to introduce the president of the Latino Heritage Club, Iris Linares Moreira. Could you please come up? She would like to, she's going to say a brief words about the Latino Heritage Club.
Good evening to all. My name is Iris. I am president of the Latino Heritage Club. I've been part of the club for 3 years already. I can proudly say that it's a great club. We all show our Hispanic culture and we all become like a family. We also have a great advisor, Mr. Ramirez, who is always there to support us and not let us down. Overall, this club has taught me how no matter our culture, we are all valuable and we should be proud of our culture. Our goals in our club is to give the students the opportunity to uphold an appreciation for the richness and beauty of our Latin culture. With the different cultural activities, we encourage to anyone to join us in our activities and meetings, being Hispanic or non-Hispanic. Our goal is to be united together and see each other as a family. We show our culture by dances, community service hours, and our cultural activities. During Hispanic Heritage Month, we hold several Friday night events where students can come and share different activities and help celebrate Hispanic culture. For example, we have game night where we play games such as Loteria, musical chairs, and we also watch cultural films. We have karaoke night where they join us and we sing Hispanic music. And lastly, we have a dance workshop where no experience is needed to join us. We teach the community basic bachata, salsa, merengue, and punta steps. Our club gets invited to several elementary schools to give a brief presentation about Hispanic Heritage Month. It's exciting to see how the little ones get happy to see our dance performance and how they cheer us on. Walking in and seeing them happy demonstrates how much of an impact we are to them. In a few weeks, we will be visiting Oakwood on October 19th and Birchwood on October 20th and Countrywood on October 25th. Our club also participates in homecoming parades from the district. We show our culture by walking with everyone and carrying flags from different countries in our Latin music. We also participate in the Town of Huntington Unity Parade. The weather didn't let us do it this October, but we are patiently waiting for the new day to show our Hispanic heritage spirit. We contribute to other clubs in our district, like the World Language Honor Society and their International Night. What is the quince dress? In our Hispanic culture, girls get to have their quinceañera party or their sweet 16, and they get to wear their quince dress one more time, and they are welcome to invite their escort of honor, as we say, the chambelán. We collaborate with the African American Club at the Black History Night and show the community our Afro-Latino background as much as our music, food, cultural traditions, and where we come from, African descendants. And lastly, our club has gone on a few trips. For example, the club has visited the circus that is currently going on in the Walt Whitman Mall. And last year, our seniors were able to visit Little Spain in the city. And we hope this year we have more field trips. And then with that being said, Mr. Ramirez, our advisor of the club, will talk about our other activities in our fundraisers.
Okay. Good evening. Good evening, esteemed members of the Board of Education and distinguished guests. My name is Priscilla Ramirez, and I'm the advisor of the Latino Heritage Club. The club and I would like to extend our heartfelt thanks to each member of the board for their unwavering support, guidance, and trust in us. Your commitment to promoting diversity and cultural awareness within our education system is truly commendable, and we're honored to be part of this vision. As Iris has shared with us all the wonderful activities Latino Heritage Club does throughout the year, the students come up with several creative ways to fundraise to do all these activities. So we have Sabor Latino is a food sale that we do once a year, and it's the opportunity to share Latin food with our community. Our past sales have been Central American food, and this year we hope to do Mexican food. Piñatagrams are sent out in May to help celebrate Cinco de Mayo, and students bought mini piñatas, fill them up with candy, and send them to their friends and favorite teachers. And it's a sweet gesture to everyone, since that's usually exam season. So we have AP's exams and all the tests. Oh, what happened? Oh, at the end of May, I don't know what happened. At the end of May, we host a mini soccer tournament, not with Messi, but we name it Futbolito. And the excitement and love for the sport is truly demonstrated at this fundraiser. Students make up their own teams, and they're able to play with friends, and it's become a popular event, and we hope to continue it for years to come. And then we have Jueves Gigante, which we did one year, which is a special night where we're able to do an imitation of the infamous Sábado Gigante show. And Sábado Gigante was a variety show that is a staple in many Hispanic families until Don Francisco and his crew aired their last show in September 2015. So students, they made up their own Jueves Gigante show, and it was a very nostalgic night for our families in our community, and we even got a special greeting from Don Francisco himself, so I'm hoping to share that with you. So that's Futbolito. This is our own version of Sábado Gigante, but Jueves Gigante. Which
Quiero
Omar,
enviar un saludo especial al Latino
and this is Don
Heritage
Francisco.
Group de la escuela Walt Whitman High School de Huntington Station en Long Island, New York. Aplaudo el trabajo que hacen promoviendo la diversidad y el interés por nuestra cultura latina, dando oportunidad a los estudiantes de celebrar y expresar sus raíces. Soy un convencido de que si estamos orgullosos de nuestro origen, podemos también aportar mejor a este país que nos acoge como inmigrantes. Los hispanos tenemos mucho que ofrecer. Un abrazo a cada uno y un saludo especial a Priscila Ramírez, profesora encargada de este club.
I melted when you said my name. So before I present to you our talented dancers, I would like just shine a little light on our program, our ENL mentoring program. Ms. Rodriguez would have liked to be here to share all the work that we've been doing along with Dr. Muller. The ENL program was started a few years ago in hopes to create a tighter community at Walt Whitman High School. Many students came to us teachers looking to start a group that supported ENL newcomers so students can have a greater connection to the school and bridge any gaps that existed between culture and school community. This program creates a safe place where students can get to know each other and make friendships and networks that may not have been otherwise possible. So we have brought in community speakers to discuss how to make healthy relationships and create strong mentoring connections, speakers who discuss perseverance and other monthly activities that promote alliance. We hope to continue this program for many years to come, and with the continued interest from students, we recognize the importance of the union that it's created. A special thank you to Dr. Muller for his continued support and his recognition in our unique program. So without further ado, I would like to present to you members of our Latino Heritage Dance team who would like to demonstrate their talents to you all tonight, and they will be doing a melody of variety songs, beginning with a traditional Salvadorian folklore dance.
Negra de la historia nuestra, caballero, y dice así.
Moviendo la cadera, 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 a la derecha, a la izquierda, a la derecha, a la izquierda, a la derecha, a la izquierda, a la derecha. Ahora sí, los dueños del swing, pa' que sepa, brother. Ay. mami, como le gusta papi, suavecito. Ok, mami. Chup up, ziggy, chup up, ziggy, chup up, ziggy, chup up, ziggy. I do it my way. Selassie cool. Black shot, watch it away.
Bueno, papá, deja yo que un día un tu trompula. Tabiana Petit.
Once again. Chup up, ziggy, 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 chup up, ziggy. We getting hot.
Y de nuevo el ataque, la fuerza musical de Sinaloa, la banda Perreco. Miren quién llegó, ya está aquí, la quebradora. Tiene un cuerpo muy sensual, es buena para bailar, la gente no la deja de admirar.
Excellent. Thank you so much. One more round of applause. All right. Great job by all. Okay. We'll move on to a presentation on the latest and greatest of our facilities projects across the district. Dr. D'Elia, you want to kick us off?
Sure, absolutely. We had a lot of behind-the-scenes work done throughout the district, and also a lot of things that were very loud and clear that were getting done around the district. And we have an unbelievable, I know Mr. Martin will refer to this, but we have a great crew of people that work for us. They have excellent skills, and you know, you're going to see pieces of the energy performance contract. You're going to see capital projects that have been planned, some capital projects that have been completed. And, you know, there's a lot of great work, and a big piece is we have a lot of in-house work getting done. And that's a real testament to the outstanding individuals that we have in this district. So a lot of work, but I got to give credit to also Mr. Martin, who oversees all of this work. We are a big district, and a lot of work needs to be done. And I want to turn it over to you, Mr. Martin.
All right, thank you.
Or just before
I
you
didn't know if
begin.
they're going to escape.
Yeah, if you students want to head out, you don't have to stay for the facilities presentation.
I mean, it's going to be fun. Donde vas? It's going to be fun.
At the midway point, Mr. Martin will do a dance.
I should have brought music. I blew it. I knew it. Dancers and music next year, for sure. All right, let's jump right in. As we were talking about the energy performance contract, you can see we have a robust list there for projects. Very noticeable already, but we're doing everything from boilers, boiler replacements to lighting fixtures, air conditioning compressors. And for us, the building management system that we're upgrading is something we're really looking forward to. That helps us manage our systems out there, and it's long overdue. So very noticeable out there, the photovoltaic electric generation. Sounds fancy. We got the solar panels going on out there, and very noticeable. One of the fun parts of that, though, at the end, is they'll be able to see the energy. They do a part with the education and the students that they can see the energy that's being produced during the day, and that's going to be something that I think they'll really enjoy on all of the levels. And we've got the lighting fixtures going on throughout the district, so you can see that through every building so far. The LED lighting, and by the end of the month, they'll be starting on the exterior. So just in time, as it's starting to get dark out there early, we'll have the upgraded lights around the outside of the buildings, which will be great for that. Some of the planned projects, I just want to also thank Ken Costa, who's been helping us out with that as well. We have a lot of projects through all the buildings. So he's been doing a nice job working with us to keep them going. The first project you'll see up there is the art gallery, the long-awaited art gallery we have. But now you can finally start to see Vicki Dolan's vision coming to life. And it's one of those projects where I get to, when I'm walking the hallways, hear the kids in the hallway getting excited and wanting to, wondering when the art's going to get in there. So I'm glad we're getting some good steps on that. The project you did not hear about, the union ventilators, a replacement over in Silaswood. We love in facilities when you don't hear about it because that means it went well. We were doing that through the night during the school year, and that upgrades our fresh air and our heat. So that was a big project that just went really smooth. We're now starting in the high school. We hope that plan goes just as well, and a little bit tougher. The high school never sleeps, so they've given us a great schedule, and we just appreciate their patience because that's going to be a little bit tough, but we think it's going to go fine in there. We'll get that replacement done. As we know, security is paramount here in South Huntington. The vestibules are, you can see them functioning when you're walking through the buildings. We're starting to, just now going through and making sure that each one has the right enhancements they need, and we keep tweaking them as we go. But they're up and running, and that's going well. That takes us to the North Gym. David Barth and his athletic team and the facilities committee, they shaped a beautiful, clean look. I mean, it's classic. It's just really pretty. And that's getting everyone excited to get over there and use that.
Those floors really changed the entire room. They came out great.
It does. It's gorgeous. And not to be outdone by his big brother, the South Gym has this similar little look and got right in there in the game. And I know gymnastics was excited for us to get done so they can have their home field back. So that's another piece that was completed. The band room. The ceiling and air conditioning was done. You can see, if you look at that middle top picture, the old popcorn ceiling, it was hard to do any repairs. It was long overdue. They keep their equipment in there. And now you look at the upgrade in that space, and it's really a much better place for them to actually practice and enjoy the space. We've got a list of capital projects that are in progress for us there. The first one that I'd like to show is the Heritage Room coming up. This is a great vision of just people coordinating together. The space, you can watch the skills. Although the retro look is sometimes in the 1970s paneling, just wasn't making it. But it was a really dark space, not very functional. If you take a look, you can see our team went in. They did all the demo. They gutted it. They prepped it for the work to be done. They put in the air conditioning and upgraded that. And it just a nice space. You can see the doors were redone, the tile work in the bathrooms, upgraded, more modern. But the vision, Dr. Murphy, Dr. Fulton, Thomas, and PR, and the facility committee, they just created a really aesthetically pleasing room that provides history and it's functional. I don't know if they wanted to elaborate on it at all.
Quite a before and after, right?
Yeah, and the pictures don't do it justice. It really is a neat space in there, showing off the history of South Huntington. If you haven't seen it, it's really good to get in there and take a look.
Yeah, we had a ribbon cutting last week or the week before. We were joined by Huntington Historical Society, who helped get the pictures. So it was a great way to lead into our 100th anniversary, and a beautiful space and a marked improvement over what was there.
So Snoopy and I went over to the, from there, we went over to Student Services
We're being
and
hacked.
did a little work. So we got some work in over there. This was just another space where the students are that Dr. Fulton and the administration, they gave us a scope that we could just create a much better environment. You could see up top how, it was just dark, not good sight lines. And then if you look at the bottom of that, it just was a much overall improvement that the staff and students could focus on the learning environment now. And we thank them because sometimes they give us a look, and whenever we can match that and make a difference, it means the world. All right, so this one, as I said, it can get exciting in facilities. You can't miss this terrazzo flooring. I really do love this. This is a restoration across the district. Terrazzo flooring in its original state, and that's what you're looking at, is how it looked when it was first put in. Some of these buildings are 50 and 60 years old. And terrazzo is a durable concrete with chips in it. Our staff, this was the professional development. You used to not be able to restore it unless you spent a lot of money. They trained, they learned how to do it, the custodial team, and they're bringing this to us. And I got to tell you, their pride in it, they love the floors they're doing, and you'll see, when you go out there, it's got to shine, I'm telling you. It's
This is a vast improvement from, at the end of August, everybody would scram, clean up, and get the floor shiny, but the end of the first week, you'd see scuff marks all over. So this has been, long-lasting, and it's been a great investment, like you said, professional development-wise for our guys, and it's definitely made a difference, not just here, but I see it in every building, and that's,
It's really going
let
well.
terrazzo be what it needs to be.
It
It
is.
needs to shine.
Yes. So these are some of the facility projects in progress. You can see there's a nice big list there. We continue, even though we're doing repairs all day, and the teams are working hard, we keep on going with some of the projects and work them in as well to keep it up.
Can I just stop you there for 1 second?
Sure.
One of the things on there is air conditioning. We had the whole summer seemed to be on the cooler side, but truth be told, the first week of school was the hottest week of record-breaking heat for the whole summer. So, inevitably, my office always gets a few calls from parents about, the heat and the classroom conditions. And, truth be told, many rooms in South Huntington School District already have air conditioning. So, through the facilities committee, with the entire Board of Education, we decided that we're going to finish the rest of the rooms, which are not many. We broke this into 4 phases. Phase 1 was getting all the regular sized classrooms on the second floors in all the buildings, which Mr. Martin have been
Yes.
completed. Now we're going to phase 2, which are all the first floor regular sized classrooms
With windows.
with windows. Yes, and that will be finished shortly, I believe.
Yes, within the 2 months.
And
Yeah.
then we're going to go to phase 3. Stay with me. We're going to go to phase 3, which is the smaller rooms with windows. We're going to get those. And then we're going to shift to phase 4, where we have some windowless rooms in the district where they could be, provided small group instruction, could be a reading class. We have those, especially at the elementary level.
Yeah.
We're going to look to see with the facilities committee what we can do over the summer, because that may involve some ductless units. But that will be our phase 4, and then once we complete that, we have an air-conditioned district for the most part. And I know some of the bigger rooms;
Larger
those are
spaces.
major expenses. Those are $1 million projects. But
But we'll take on the ones we can, especially the libraries,
Absolutely.
things like that.
So-
And you can see the splits, for example, in Countrywood there, the small one. One thing that we try and do when the team is provided with some resources and time, you see the old split on the bottom left. That's the old style where the pumps are in the room and it's going up and through the ceiling. If you look at the center picture, that's what they replaced it with. So they don't just automatically go in and do what's in kind, as we would say, if they have the ability to upgrade it. So that's a quieter unit. They're up in the ceiling. You could see they did the roof penetrations. That was our in-house team. They're just a really skilled group getting it done. So super proud of them there.
So that middle one that's a ductless unit that's in the ceiling, or
Yeah, so that's a ductless like you would have here. So those go in some of the areas. If you have the space and the ceilings and stuff, it can't go everywhere. And if you have the rooftop area that you can put the condensers in, if not, you can do the splits on the wall as well, like the traditional, but the guys will they'll run them outside, so you don't have all that running through the ceilings whenever possible. The roof restoration over at the high school, that's on a portion of the roof. We had, with one of the bad windstorms, we recognized some of the damage, and that needed to be taken care of right away. They're up there right now. That'll look much like Countrywood if you've seen the Countrywood restoration on there. So compared to replacing the roof, this is a great way when it meets the criteria to get it done. A lot cost savings and efficient. So sometimes I'd just like to point out, again, these buildings are like 50 and 60 years old. Hang in there with me, we're almost there. The daily operations, you know, we have 1 million square feet of buildings to maintain and clean. We have 172 acres. We continue to try and make the improvements to match the educational field and improve all the spaces. We have goals that we set. We're increasing the preventative maintenance piece. Jay in there is starting a new program. The IT department, our partnership has grown. They're just everywhere. Starting with Dr. Fulton, we started working together and got rid of a lot of the subcontractors. And now with Marley Rice, we just continue that, and we're really growing at a great pace to keep up with them. Food service has been a continuing effort and team. We're always doing some professional development, as you've seen, getting them classes whenever we can so they can do more and more work for us, which is very powerful. The grounds team and Custodial going green, so we added a zero-turn mower. We've been doing the battery-operated equipment at the building levels. You know, beyond the savings with fuel and stuff like that, they're much quieter. So anytime that we can get some stuff done around the buildings and not have a negative impact on the student population and the staff, just helps us keep working in areas that we wouldn't normally make. So that's been a big improvement we just keep going with. With that, I'd also like to thank Dr. Wright. He works with our team closely, does a lot of work with our grounds team and facilities. He's been helping out all over. We just have a lot of projects. We keep going. And it's great to have some support like that. So looking at some of this, the replacement of the soap and sanitizer dispensers, you know, one thing, I look for the positives. Out of COVID, we really learned the best education we can give, and the more we can kind of color code things, let people understand what we have and what to use. The white hand soap and the black sanitizer just really helps them see. But if you look on there, there's a paw print. I told you, we got the pride over here in facilities too. We're doing it. But it is very recognizable. We have color-coded equipment that we're doing, so it really helps the team be efficient. We generate our own EPA-approved chemicals, which is very green, and we learned through COVID there was limited supplies. So we now take that on, and we're able to generate that out of our own buildings. So that's been a huge upgrade there. And just my clerical unit, everything passes through there. So facilities couldn't function without them. I just want to really give an appreciation to my entire team. They're doing a great job out there, and they continue to navigate in a hard time. So thanks for taking a ride through facilities.
Thank you, Mr. Martin. I think the community can see that there's a lot going on, and it's important to do these presentations so that they see a finished product and realize that their hard-earned money is well spent and well needed, as we have a big district and a lot of buildings. So thank you very much. Okay. Any questions on the presentation? Okay, great. We will go into our business agenda. Take a motion to adopt the agenda. Ms. LaCara, seconded by Mr. Bronson. Any questions on the agenda? All in favor? Any opposed? All right. Items E through F require one resolution for adoption. Our minutes, financial items, bids, none of them bills, and communications. Is there a motion? Mr. Joyner, seconded by Ms. Meyer. Any questions? All in favor? Any opposed? All right, moving on to new business. New business item 1 is the approval of obsolete IT equipment. Is there a motion? Mr. Scraggs, seconded by Mr. Biangasso. Dr. Fulton?
Yes, these items are obsolete assistive technology equipment we are requesting to dispose of because they are no longer of use.
Okay. All in favor? Any opposed? All right, new business item 2, more obsolete equipment. Motion? Ms. LaCara, seconded by Mr. Bronson. Dr. Fulton, any difference here?
Yes, these are a variety of different types of equipment that were collected throughout the district over the summer and into this new school year that are of no longer functioning, and we're seeking to dispose of them.
Okay. Any questions? All in favor? Any opposed? Moving on to new business item number 3 is the approval of a stipulation agreement previously discussed in executive session. Is there a motion? Mr. Scragg, seconded by Mr. Biangasso. And this is after a impartial hearing. It's a settlement between the district and parents regarding a placement of a student in a out of district placement rather. Any questions? All in favor? Any opposed? All right. Moving on to item 4 is the approval of an out of district replacement at the Glenholm School at Devereaux Advanced Behavioral Health. Is there a motion? Mr. Joyner, seconded by Ms. Meyer. Dr. Fulton, can you tell us about the school?
Yes, this school offers residential therapeutic setting for a student who is not otherwise able to attend school here at Walt Whitman. And this is the agreement to allow the student to remain there who was placed there previously by CSE in the prior year.
Okay, great. Questions? This was also discussed in exec. All in favor? Any opposed? All right, we have an amendment of a consultant agreement for 2023-2024 with Patricia Wilkinson. Is there a motion? Ms. Meyer, seconded by Mr. Joyner. Mr. Smith, Dr. Steele, rather, sorry.
That's okay. We have a revised contract with our consultant, Patricia Wilkinson. She has been putting in extended hours, coordinating and facilitating the professional development for our K-5 staff as we look to fill the position of humanities coach. If you remember, Liz Weiss was our former humanities coach who resigned to go to a different district, so she's helping us out in the interim.
Okay. Any questions? All in favor? Any opposed? All right, moving on to item number 6 is the adoption of a policy. This is a new policy for extracurricular and co-curricular activities. Is there a motion? Mr. Bronson, seconded by Ms. LaCara. Dr. Murphy, can you tell us what we did here?
Yes, we just solidified our own practices internally, as well as just making sure that we had a policy that identified academic progression in terms of making sure students are academic viable before going into an extracurricular or co-curricular or sporting event, as well as define some of the stipulations in terms of students outside of the district being able to participate in our sports and activities.
So this was largely our policy, but it didn't make it into our policy manual.
Yes, this is a policy that we've followed for many years. It's just making sure that we've solidified it through our policy manual.
Okay. There's a cross-reference to other policies, 7110, attendance, and 7310, code of conduct. I know the board had an opportunity to review it and made comments. Any further questions? All in favor? Any opposed? All right, we have a series of data security and privacy agreements. Is there a motion? Mr. Biangasso, seconded by Mr. Scragg. Dr. Steele again.
Sure, we have a few agreements from various platforms. We have Booklet, CommonLit, Learning A to Z, and ThinkCirca, which all revolve around literacy instruction. Code HS is a coding platform. Common Sense Media houses digital citizenship lessons. This is a College Board app, also used to administer the PSAT. And EMS LINQ nutrition program is the new program used by our nutrition department to monitor the school lunch program.
Any questions for Dr. Steele? All in favor? Any opposed? Okay. Next, new business item 8 is the approval of a memorandum of agreement with our cafeteria employees represented by UPSEU. Motion? Ms. LaCara, seconded by Mr. Scragg. Mr. Smith.
Thank you, Mr. Ciapetta. For the board's approval is this memorandum of agreement with Local 237. It speaks to a 5-year agreement taking us all the way to June of 2028. Agreement outlines some increased wages for our food service workers, as well as some updated contract language.
Great. Any questions? All in favor? Any opposed? All right, and we have a couple of related agreements. Items 9 and 10. Here's a motion for item 9. Mr. Bronson, seconded by Mr. Scragg. This is an agreement with the South Huntington Chairperson Association. Mr. Smith, you want to take both these in turn?
Sure, absolutely. So for the board's approval is this agreement with the South Huntington Chairpersons Association, which effectively adds a position to their unit, which is the chairperson of elementary education, special education, sorry. Thank you, Dr. Fulton. And also for the board's approval is an agreement with the South Huntington Administrators Association, which abolishes the position of assistant supervisor of special education from their unit.
Okay, great.
So effectively, the chairperson will be replacing the assistant supervisor.
Great, thank you. Questions? Okay, well, let's take 9 first. All in favor? Any opposed? And then we'll do 10 motion. Ms. LaCara, seconded by Mr. Bronson. Questions? All in favor? Any opposed? All right. Item number 11 is some travel allowance for technology department employees. Motion. Mr. Biangasso, seconded by Ms. Meyer. Dr. DeLeo.
Yes, this is a travel allowance for some of our employees within the IT department that have to travel within a week from different buildings, and within a day, they may have to go to multiple buildings, multiple sites, and they're using their own personal vehicle to get from building to building.
Okay. Questions? All in favor? Any opposed? All right, item 12 is a confidential personnel agreement. Is there a motion? Mr. Bronson, seconded by Mr. Scragg. This matter has been discussed in executive session previously, and it resolves a potential disciplinary situation. Any questions? All in favor? Any opposed? Okay, moving on to item number 13, another confidential personal agreement. Motion. Ms. Meyer, seconded by Mr. Joyner. This matter has also been previously discussed in exec session, and it resolves also a potential disciplinary matter. Any questions? All in favor? Any opposed? All right, moving on to new business. Item 14 is the approval of an out-of-state field trip to Great Adventure. Motion. Mr. Biangasso, seconded by Mr. Scragg. Dr. Murphy.
Yes. Yes, this is an annual trip that we have every year with our physics department. All our physics students get to go to this. They go to Six Flags Great Adventure. They enjoy their time, but they also do real-world application and labs that deal with physics and energy. It's something that a lot of districts participate in, and it's something that our kids enjoy year-round, every year to do.
Okay, great. Any questions? Have you? Oh, cool. You did go on the rides? Oh, those are scary. I wouldn't go on them. Any questions? All in favor? Any opposed? They go upside down, or?
Yeah.
No good. Item 15, placements by the Committee on Special Education and Preschool Special Education. Do we have a motion? Mr. Scragg, seconded by Ms. LaCara. Any questions? All in favor? Any opposed? We have personnel schedules now, 5, 9, 11, 12, 13, 15, 16, 17, 20, 22. Is there a motion? Mr. Biangasso, seconded by Mr. Bronson. All in favor? Any opposed? All right, we have committee reports. We'll start with our audit committee. Mr. Bronson?
Thank you, Mr. Ciapetta. So on Tuesday, October 3rd, the audit committee met. It was actually a pretty robust meeting. We had first our external auditors who gave us a preliminary review of our external audit report. They will be presenting at our next board meeting, but just sort of a preview, the report was very positive, so that was good news. We also met with our internal auditors on our risk assessment. We are actually finalizing that report, so that should be before the board in the near term. And again, the results from that were also very positive. We have a very good risk assessment. And then it's typical for most of our audit committee meetings, we also go through a claims report, where again, I've just continued to see, I've been on the audit committee for a number of years, and I just continue to see improvement. There's always room for improvement, but I would say overall, I've definitely seen improvement through the years. So it was a good meeting. We covered 3 different topics, and again, at our next meeting, we will have our external auditors giving the external audit report. I also want to say, unfortunately, with the passing of Mr. Caden, we are now looking for a new community member for our audit committee meeting. So working with my colleague, Mr. Biangasso, and also the administrators here, we've put together a posting that will go up. So that will be posted in the near future. So if anyone is interested in that has a background in auditing and financial matters, et cetera, I'd encourage you to apply, and we'll certainly be looking at resumes and hoping to make it a series of interviews in the near future, and then ultimately an appointment.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Bronson. Any questions for Mr. Bronson? Okay.
What does that role pay, Mr. Bronson?
That role pays 0, but you get good company and good conversation.
We're familiar with that. And then we have Curriculum Council. Ms. LeCarre, did you want to give a report? Okay. Dr. Murphy?
Yes, we had our first curriculum council meeting. It was something extensive, kind of covered things that we finished up with at the end of the year, as well as some new items. One of the things we talked about, Dr. Steele and I went through our goals that we presented to the Board of Education in July, because they encompass a lot of the building goals, to make sure that everybody is working together towards the achievement of not only each individual building goal, but also our district goals. One of the other things that we discussed was implementing or reviewed our AP and Regents results. That also was presented to the board to make sure at the secondary level that we're all working together, especially from Stimson to the high school, as well as our continued work with instructional rounds. Right now we've completed 2 rounds in 2 of our buildings. We're scheduled to do 2 more, and then we're doing training to make sure that those rounds happen individually within each building. If you're not familiar with what instructional rounds are, it's where teachers observe or view and visit other teachers to make sure that we're all working together and kind of work towards problems or issues that we can see that we can provide support and professional development. In addition to that, we also reviewed our summer school updates and also some of the new programs that will be coming down through Stimson in terms of giving remedial support to students that are struggling throughout the year, rather than just waiting for them to when they fail, and then giving them summer school coursework, which unfortunately sometimes isn't as successful as we wished it would be.
Great. Questions for Dr. Murphy? Okay. Future meetings are listed. October 25th is our next meeting, where we'll have the audit report, as Mr. Bronson previewed, as well as Board of Education recognition night. Comments by board members? Ms. Meyer.
Thank you, Mr. Ciapetta, and I'm sure Dr. D'Elia is going to talk extensively about the upcoming homecoming activities and celebrations, so I won't steal his thunder, but I will make a plug that there will be an alumni get-together this year, so thank you to Dr. Murphy and the Alumni Committee for organizing. But immediately following the football game, there will be an alumni happy hour at Catch 25 on Jericho Turnpike, so we look forward to seeing all of our former Wildcats there.
Great. Thank you. Other comments? We had the facilities presentation. We talked about our ribbon cutting for the Heritage Room. We also had a ribbon cutting for the cybersecurity room, which is now open, which is incredibly impressive. We were joined by Assemblyman Stephen Stern, former Assemblyman Chad Lupinacci, and got to watch our students work a little bit. And Jaron was also there with us, as well as for the Heritage Room ribbon cutting, and it was really a very impressive room and program that's going on there. Dr. D'Elia.
Yes. Homecoming. The weather. Friday looks good. Looks real good. Friday we have our carnival, and we also have our Powder Puff game, and we also have our fireworks show that will be happening at halftime of Powder Puff. Now, last year was the first year we had fireworks, and we did it at the end of the football game. But we noticed people were leaving, so we decided this year that if you know Powder Puff, the stands are packed, the kids are having a great time on the field. We're going to do it halftime there, and this is a nice fireworks show. And we're hoping that people will be there and be able to enjoy beautiful fireworks, because the rain looks like it will hold off. And it just seemed like every morning that I wake up, I check the weather right away for Saturday, because that's the day in question. This morning, it looked like it was going to start raining around 12. Right now, it looks like it's going to start around 4 p.m. Who knows what it will be on Saturday. But if there is rain and we would be forced, it would have an impact. It would have an impact, obviously, on the parade. So we are watching it very closely every day, and we want it to happen, and we're looking forward to a great weekend. Homecoming has really, really become a K-12 event here, and a community event here in South Huntington, especially with the carnival piece, where it's amazing how many students are here with the bonfire as well at 6:15. So we're very proud of what we were able to to accomplish here as far as our homecoming here in South Huntington. And we'll root for the boys in the football game at 3 o'clock against Comac. Big game for Whitman, and we'll be supporting them big time. Also, I just want to mention the fireworks show. We had some very generous donations from Empire Automotive Group, Elliot Leonardo from Signature Properties, Huntington Manor Fire Department, and the South Huntington Council of the PTAs. And we thank them so much for their support and their financial support as well. Recently, I know we've done a press release on it. We had our niche.com rankings come out, and I can't tell you how many people that, have stopped me outside of the district say, wow, Walt Whitman High School, number 3 in Suffolk County. And they're trying to ask what the magic is, and what the magic is our community. It's everybody sitting around this table. It's everybody in the buildings, the teachers, custodians, as Mr. Martin spoke about, the behind-the-scenes people. It's a team. It's a village that puts this all together. And that's the secret potion to make it happen. We only have 2 high schools in front of us, and they're from the same district. They're right down the block. And don't worry, we have our eyes on them. So we're hoping next year, right, Dr. Murphy? Number 1, Whitman? Possible? I'll put you on the spot here.
Sure. We don't like that other district anyway. I mean,
that's right. We're gonna, there's room to grow, and our school district as a whole went from 8 to number 6. It gets a little harder moving up, in this spot, and we're definitely moving in the right direction. And like I said, it's the team here and everyone associated with this district, and our community is a special one. And everybody achieves very high in this district, and very proud of that, and we all should be. And I tell you, every time I get the chills when people come up to me and say, Whitman, how's it happening? You're number 3. I was like, it's awesome. So it's worth all the work that we do. So very proud. Also, next week, I know Dr. Rice and Dr. Steele have been working on Digital Citizenship Week is next week. So we know we have activities working with the principals. We're going to have some nice Spirit Week regarding digital citizenship. We know how important it is, the internet, the pros and cons of being on the internet, especially for young people. I never had to deal with that going through school, so it's a different challenge out there. But we, listen, it's not just 1 week, but we're really going to highlight things next week, and so be on the lookout for Parent Square as my message at the end of the week, and messages from building principals regarding digital citizenship. So. That is my report. No rain on Saturday, right? Not until 5 o'clock.
Great. Thank you, Dr. D'Elia. Encourage everybody to see the fireworks, too. They're not a joke. This is not like one little sparkler. These are, these are professional, and it's wonderful. So.
We used to have the sparklers, right?
Yeah. These are serious fireworks. Jaron, what's going on? What have you been up to?
Oh, all right. Now it's on. Good evening, everybody. I hope everybody's doing well. As you know, over the weekend, there were some traumatic events and terrorist attacks that took place and have been going on in our world. While these attacks are horrible and disturbing and sad, I got to thinking about how we could turn this horrible and horrific event into something good and positive. Here in the South Huntington School District, we live in what I like to call a bubble. We have people from all different races, religions, backgrounds, sexual orientations, and identities living in peace and harmony. We all collaborate during the school day, socialize as friends, and learn from one another's differences to enrich our own lives. We are lucky to have such a good environment to give everyone an opportunity to not have to worry about what people think of who they are. And I think we should all be very proud that we have fostered that amazing environment. Dr. Murphy and I are setting up some meetings to discuss how we can improve our already welcoming environment and to just include everyone from everywhere to achieve one common goal. That being said, I'm looking forward to meeting with Mr. Toto and the Silas Wood Student Government to get their point of view on topics regarding the district and what we can do to improve the students' experience. In addition, I will also be meeting with the Simpson Middle School Student Government to do the same thing. I also just want to take a moment, as Dr. D'Elia did, to acknowledge the big weekend we have coming up. As he said, on Friday night we have our carnival, and then our famous bonfire, and then of course Powder Puff, and that amazing fireworks show at halftime. It doesn't stop there. Saturday morning we have our Hall of Fame ceremony induction, which I will be at because my aunt Dara Croft is one of the inductees, so I look forward to seeing everyone there. And then hopefully, the weather will hold out for our homecoming parade and homecoming game against Comac, because I know everyone's looking forward to that. I also want to take a moment to acknowledge everyone who's working behind the scenes. Sometimes we forget that, when we get to an event, it doesn't just appear that way. It takes so many people to really put that whole event together. So Dr. Murphy, the advisors of ESCO, Ms. Bolin and Ms. Rice, and everyone else who has been working to make these events come to fruition, thank you very much. I look forward to seeing everyone there and celebrating the new school year and our school district and how lucky we are to all be a part of it. Before I close, I just want to circle back again to those horrible terrorist attacks. I believe a way that we can give back and we can help and show our support for the victims is to treat everyone with respect, kindness, and dignity, not just in our district, but everywhere else we might go. If we set examples for the leaders of tomorrow, our world will be a much better and brighter place. I believe that. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Jaron. Great job. Voice of the resident? And I didn't mention it at the beginning, because some time has passed, and I know our district has celebrated, but I did want to recognize Farmingdale School District and everything that they've gone through. Luckily, I believe all the students are now out of the hospital, but unfortunately, they did have 2 losses of life. Probably could have been a lot worse with the condition there, but it was. I know our district supported Farmingdale in spirit and by wearing green, as well as a lot of other districts across the island, and it's really the educational community on Long Island is a family, and it was great to see that support. And obviously these are rough times. You can't not help but be a little depressed. But when you hear from great students like Jaron, you realize that just if you respect others and show a little kindness to others, it can go such a long way, and we should try to do that every day to one another. All right. Take a motion to adjourn. Ms. Meyer, seconded by Mr. Joyner. All in favor? Any opposed? Be well.